Canadian comedian, actually, Lars Kalaloo. I think that's how you say his last name. I'm not sure. He actually told a joke at the Melbourne Comedy Festival about that how our shark attacks are reported as unprovoked shark attacks. And he's like, who the fuck would provoke a shark? And I actually told your story, and I meant to fucking get back to him about it. So you were spearfishing with Leewald, some would say the Northern Pemba, and you speared a mackerel that was close to a record, or what you believed was a record. Is that about right? How big was this mackerel?
Well,
I wasn't
well,
there.
Lee's a professional. He's done professional mackie fishing, and he said he's never seen anything like that.
The
size of that mackie.
What were you actually wearing? What was your attire for, and how deep were you?
It would have been boardies.
Yeah, and this is the, because I've heard this story once, and what I picked up from it was, and this is how this dude rolls, because he's just a nutter. So carry on with what, because other like proper spearos, if they're going to go in, they go in full dressed up, ready to go, counting their ducks. But this lad here just, so carry on with it. And
yeah, go ahead with the story. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, it would have been just wearing boardies and a rashy, no doubt. That's how I used to roll up there because it was so bloody hot.
Yeah, and you got a giant head, so you don't
massive
need a
head. So who needs weight belts as well? Eh?
You just tilt and you sink.
That's right. And you get 16 meters, you start going anyway. Yeah. So, but yeah, remember the days? It was on the jobby shoal, we call it.
Giving up spots. Fucking
no one
knows
what that
let
is.
that happen.
Just me and you, Lee. He's probably a bit devastated that we're all doing this without him. But yeah, I remember diving down. It was pretty murky day. There was heaps of big jobbies around, but this mackie come in, and I remember just seeing it going, this is the biggest mackie I've ever seen. And I've lined it up, got a decent holding shot on it, and I remember getting up, and Lee's just like, go hard on it, otherwise sharks are going to be on it. So I remember just getting, this thing's just towing me around. Would have been a good 10 minutes for what it felt like anyways, but I was just holding on to this float line, trying to gain a bit of line on it. And finally, got close to it, and there would have been, no exaggeration, there would have been 20, 30 sharks on this thing on the tail, trying to chase it. By the time I got to it, one had, about a 6-7 foot bronzy had tried to, bite it on the head. And this is how I knew how big it was, because the mouth of the shark couldn't get over its head. That's how big this thing was, mate.
That's
and I'm just going, you're kidding. And I've tried to grab hold of this thing, and I couldn't fit my arms around it. I couldn't touch fingers. That's how wide this thing was, holding it. And these sharks are just coming from everywhere. They're, bumping me. There's, a couple of sharks hanging on the tail on it. And, I'm just trying to wrestle it off, and these things are going berserk over me. And then I'm pretty much, in the end, I had to bail because I was like, I'm going to lose an arm or a leg here, So I ended up, letting go. And there was 30 sharks on this thing just going berserk. And by that stage, Lee and that had called for the boat. So we started swimming back to the boat, and we still got onto the boat in that time, and they were still eating it. There was 30 sharks on it, and they were still going berserk over it. That's how big this thing was.
Did you throw a punch at the sharks, though? I
think I did. Well, that was the first one. I tried to kind of get rid of him, but it wasn't happening.
Yeah, because that's what... Because I think Buddha was with you. Is that right? Buddha... I think Leewald was saying that Buddha went down, had a look, seen all the sharks. It was like, fuck that, it's done. And then you came through and started throwing punches.
I was just bringing back the potty.
The potty. Yeah. Just sneaking up.
Couple of nights at the potty,
Just a couple cheeky shots.
I think I did a few. I threw a couple out there trying to get them off, but it just wasn't happening.
Yeah. So does that become a provoked shark attack
100%.
if they'd done you?
If they took me that day, it was my fault, 100%.
What?